So, have you ever heard of the video game Fall Guys?
Hello guys, welcome to our video. And today, I'm going to be trying to do a Fall Guys reference in every single Darwin Kid book. Now, I love Darwin the Kid. I love Fall Guys. So what happens when you combine them two together? This, I guess. Now, I don't know, I was just kind of bored, so I figured I'd make this. I don't know, this has just be funny. Yeah, it's simple. Just find out reference to Fall Guys in every Darwin Kid book. Now, before you say that most Darwin Kid books are made before a bunch of Fall Guys, remember, Fall Guys has existed ever since the Big Bang happened and the universe existed. Fall Guys has always been there. Trust me, this is 100% accurate information. So that's my response to that. Yeah, it's simple. Just finding a reference in every single Darwin Kid book. That's just a Fall Guys. Yeah, explain why. Now, there's not really any really rules to this experience. If I can find anything that's that has a slight resemblance to Fall Guys, it'll count. Yeah, and in some books they're harder to find Fall Guys references compared to others, and some might be a bit more obvious compared to others. But trust me, I found one in every single Darwin Kid book. Now I'm just gonna be doing the main 18 books. I'll also be doing the Darwin Friendly Kid trilogy. I'm not gonna count the do-it-yourself book because you can just make it yourself. So if you really want to, yeah, look, Fall Guys on the cover. Wow, there's the reference. Also, what we've done the movie diaries, we do not own them. So, yeah, I don't know if you want to just find the references yourself. Yeah, with all that out of the way, let's just get into the main meat of the video. Okay, alright, so let's start off with the first episode, as usual. And here, in this book, I found a reference on page 98 that says this. I thought about trying to be part of the witch, because I heard in the play that the witch does all sorts of mean things to Dorothy. But then somebody told me there's a good witch and a bad witch, and with my luck, I ended up being the good one. Now, for any of you Fall Guys players, you probably might know about the Good Witch outfit in Fall Guys, which obviously what this book is alluding to in this sentence being used. Yeah, so we reference that one outfit. Alright, now we have the second book. One of my personal favorites, Darwin Kid, Project Rules. On page 52 right here, you can see this here. There's a kid named Shrag Gupta, who was one of my friends, but he moved away in June. His family had a big going away party, and the whole neighborhood came. But the big going away parties really want to focus on that sentence. Now, Legacy Season 6 of Fall Guys had a bit of a party theme going, and it was called Legacy Season 6 Party Spectacular, which is obviously the reference to here. This is a reference to Legacy Season 6 of Fall Guys. In fact, I have a bit of a big brain theory. What if the big going away party was Legacy Season 6? What if that was the party indeed? It's crazy. The worlds of Darwin Kid and Fall Guys must be interconnected. Trust me. Really. This must be true. Now we have the third Darwin Kid book, which is Darwin Kid The Last Straw. Now for The Last Straw, this is a really interesting book because there was multiple references to one certain minigame found in Fall Guys. Alright, so starting off, on page 25, in this scene where Gray's dad is being driven in a carpool, you can see right here on the lawn a soccer ball from the Fall Guys minigame, Fall Ball, right there plastered on the lawn. Now you think that might just be it for the references, but there's more. Now you can see the soccer ball again on page 132 where Greg has a guy out with a shambles or whatever. But there's also another soccer ball found on page 146, obviously alluding to Fall Ball. But I think the biggest reference to this minigame is on page 117. And this page is the first page revealed where Greg has to learn how to play soccer. And see Greg can run a soccer ball, which means Greg is trained to become the best fall ball player in the world, pretty much. And honestly, kudos to him. I give him all my kudos. I have too much in my inventory. Yeah. So see, he's here learning to play soccer, which is also fall ball, which is a reference to Fall Guys. Then next up we have here is the fourth book of the franchise, page 83. In this image where Greg's father needs to awkwardly hug his children, you can see right swish in between Greg and Roger, a bag of chips. Now, you think about right here for decoration, but no, this is indeed a reference to Fall Guys, specifically the chipper outfit in Fall Guys, which is on the featuring of the fabulous, fantastic thing of it. Yeah, this is obviously a great allusion to the chipper outfit from that game. This book. Now we got the ugly truth, the fifth book never even franchise. And page 25, he mentions about how the guy was talking about how he wants to be like the spokesperson for this Peachy Breeze ice cream. And he mentions here, only stumbling block, I can see that Dad hates the Peachy Breeze TV ads. But look, stumbling block. Now this is an ingenious 2-in-1 reference. Because Greg is obviously such a influenced author and writer. He's a very wise man. He's very wise himself. This is why he would put it in here.
Greg Heffley, can you please come to the front of the room and do the problem?
Long before time had a name.
Yeah, stumbling block, it says 2-in-1 reference. It's a reference to Skyline Stumble, a minigame of Fall Guys, and Block Party, another ingenious tool, probably the best reference we've found so far. Let's continue onwards, shall we? Now, for book 6, we got Cabin Fever. And on page 125, when they're all in their holiday movies are, they're gonna have our homemade arcade machine of Pac-Man. Now, I bet pretty much all of you probably heard about Pac-Man. I'm assuming you have. Kevin's, I don't know, but anyways, yeah, they're making like a homemade Pac-Man arcade machine. Now, obviously, for all you Fall Guys, people are engrossed in the Fall Guys lore, you know that Pac-Man did do a collab with Fall Guys, and you can play as Pac-Man in Fall Guys. This is a reference, obviously, because Pac-Man is in Fall Guys, so it's as simple as that. Now, Diverman Kid, book 7 is an interesting book. I mean, the book itself was interesting, but when coming to Fall Guys reference, it was probably the hardest one to find a Fall Guys one, actually. I wasn't able to find one until the very last page 217, where Greg's taking a bath, and he says, at least I think I'm alone. Today I had a fresh towel next to the tub, and when I opened my eyes, it was gone. Now, that fresh towel, apparently, Johnny Cheddar still. Now, that fresh towel is interesting, because in the second Fame Pass for Legacy, or not Legacy, but for SS4, you could find this lower called the Fresh Towel. And I'm assuming this must be a reference to that. And what if Johnny Cheddar plays Fall Guys, and he won that lower badly for some reason, but he wasn't going to play during that Fame Pass. So what if he stole it in order to get access to that lower, which means Johnny Cheddar is confirmed a Fall Guys hacker. So this is real. Yeah, this is definitely the hardest one to find a Fall Guys reference. Yeah, this might be a bit more of a stretch, but that's a good find. Now moving on to book 8. Yeah, which is, okay, it's hard one. Yeah, hard one. What could be the reference here? Simple. Page 51. Greg talks about like how school did this thing called Hero Points, where you can do nice things and turn them into some epic prizes. Now the B on the Hero Point, I don't know if this could be me, but he looks kind of, minus the K, he looks kind of similar to the B-Bot and Cyber Wasp outfit from the third Fame Pass in Fall Guys SS4. It'd be a bit of a coincidence, but knowing all these Fall Guys references I found, I don't think this is a coincidence, Jeff Kinney. We know this is the B-Bot / Cyber Wasp. Now, for the 9th book, The Long Haul, 152. On this bottom picture right here, when Greg mentions about how I want to stand like this tarp thing because it was too hot, you can see a volleyball ingeniously placed right here. Now this volleyball must be a reference to the hit Fall Guys, not the hit Fall Guys, this one's actually really mid, but it must be a reference to Volleyball from Fall Guys, which is a mini game, which is volleyball but in Fall Guys. So obviously it's got to be a reference to volleyball. If it isn't, I'm suing Mr. Beast. Now we got Diverman Kid Old School, probably in my opinion the least favorite my least favorite out of the book. It's still pretty solid, but like my least favorite out of the entire series as of now. Yeah, on page 111, Greg is talking about how there's security cameras out in his house because his parents put him in, and he's pretty sure that his parents put one in his and his little brother Manny's stuffed duck because he thinks he's watching him. Now, this is a duck is interesting. Now, a mallard is another word for duck, right? And in Fall Guys, there is an outfit called mallard, a duck. This stuffed duck must be a tribute to the mallard in Fall Guys. Okay, now we got book 11. Darwin get doubled down. Now, just before I mention the Fall Guys reference, I want to mention that when Greg said these are not zombie pirates. Abigail would not write the PVZ2 without the pirate world of the zombie pirates. Is this just me, or did anyone else get reminded of this? Like, I don't know why it reminds me of this. Now, obviously, there's a reference to falling from Fall Guys, of course. Well, I find a much more deeper, in-depth reference that you can find earlier on in the book. There's enough references on page 60 through 63, where Greg and I participating in like this balloon competition thing right here. And where he holds a balloon, this is his balloon bonanza. Now, these balloons might be a reference to the balloon nameplate in Fall Guys. I can't remember the name, but it has balloons on it, and this one I think I see 1 year anniversary for Free-For-All. And I'm still kind of a bit salty. That means I'm going to do anything with a 2 year anniversary, a bit or whatever, I guess. Old one earned the bird as well. So I think the game has a bit more issue. It has a few more greater issues right now than just missing out on Free-For-All 2 year anniversary. But that wasn't nice. But anyways, yeah, this is a reference to that nameplate. Like I've said this before, so again, trust me on this one. And speaking of Fall Guys, this is one Free-For-All Diving the Gateway actually has a reference to that season itself, which you can find on page 88. And it says here, when he did it, it was a total free-for-all. Which, once again, is obviously a reference to the Fall Guys season as this one free-for-all. It's still the best Fall Guys season. It was so peak. Yeah, that was much more of a quicker one, but it was indeed a reference. Now we got Darwin number 13. Now we're going to now. This is Cabin Fever. Might just be simple references to Legacy Season 3, which is the winter theme season for Fall Guys, but think about a much better reference. I should break down early on the book, page 9. Greg says, speaking of survival, obviously, when he's speaking of survival, he must be speaking of those survival around him in Fall Guys, where obviously you have to survive certain obstacles in order to qualify. Once again, Greg with his wise speaking words. Now for this next reference, this can be found in Darwin Kid Wrecking Ball, the 14th book from the Darwin Kid series, page 183 near the end, where Greg Heavley's mom is currently being dealt with emotional damage from generic Karen number 69,420. And he said, well, I'm sure whoever picked it out was trying their very best. Now this isn't the exact word for word, but this might be a reference to the Fall Guys nickname, is trying their best. So yeah, that's mostly the reference. It's a bit more of a stretch, but I think it's a pretty funny reference. And that's the only reference we can find to a nickname out of this video, so yeah. Right now we got Darwin Kid the Deep End, the 15th book in the Darwin Kid franchise. And I mentioned here about how Mania is making his own little apartment thing in their RV. And Greg mentions it was pretty sweet. This is once again another example of Greg having very wise writing, as this mostly references Sweet Thieves from Fall Guys, which is one of the most drastically different minigames compared to any other. It's kind of like a more like in-depth team game kind of. This is his own like LTM. Yeah, that's a pretty sweet reference, Greg. Okay, now Darwin number 16. This is like the easiest reference to find. In fact, it actually kind of inspired this entire video for the most part. Now, for any Fall Guys player that you can play this game, if anybody know what I'm talking about, but for people who don't, look at the title, Big Shot. That must be a reference to the Fall Guys minigame Big Shots. Which is, you know, a minigame where you survive stuff on a seesaw and it's futuristic. Yeah, this obviously must be. I know like they're kind of different in theming. This obviously must be a reference. And even though this kind of made this video as a joke, I honestly think this is like kind of similar. This might actually kind of be a reference. Like, I highly doubt it, but I think it'd be really funny. And I feel like this book came out, I think, after Big Shot's released. I actually think it'd be really funny if this actually were like a reference for Jeff can get inspired. But those get highly doubted, but I think it would be pretty silly. And I think it's probably, the best, most concrete reference I could find in the entire video. And I'm moving on to book number 17. Now, we got Darwin Kid book number 17, Darwin Kid Dipper Overload. Yeah, now, actually, on page 6, I was able to find a reference. Now, I did say for the Meltdown, that was like the earliest reference I could find. Actually, I guess I kind of lied. But yeah, it says here on page 6, yeah, as you can see here, don't get me wrong, I'm nice to have managed to play some cards and all that other stuff that comes to being famous. I just want to deal with the downside of fame. Now, there's also supposed to be able to stuff fame passes in Fall Guys. They were probably called season passes, but now they're just fame passes. There's a lot season passes better, but I guess it sticks to the branding a bit more with fame being like XP currency kind of thing. But I don't know why Greg would want to deal with downside of fame. So he's got to get that fame pass XP up, unless he was already maxed out. Then I guess that makes sense. But still, a bit questionable. And for the last reference you can find in the main line Darwin Kid book, you got Darwin Kid No Brainer on page 125. It mentions everybody's class is going crazy over single stinker rules being baked in the middle of a pop quiz. The pop quiz, again, it is a bit of a stretch. Could potentially be referenced to the pop art pattern, which you can get in the crown ranks for Fall Guys. It must be referenced to the pop art pattern from Fall Guys. Fourth time in a row. Trust me. This might gotta be a reference. Yeah, it's all the main books. Now, I'm going to dive into the Awesome Friendly Kid trilogy, because I found reference in each one too. Now, starting off with the OG Darwin Awesome Friendly Kid, on page 41, it mentions about how McGregor tried to trick Rowling into thinking the burglars in his house by stomping real loud upstairs. And even on page 42, you get a more clear depiction of that reference. Greg is literally seen stomping right here, which obviously must be a reference to the Fall Guys game that everybody loves, Stomping Ground. Who doesn't love Stomping Ground, man? Yeah, this is obviously must be a reference to Stomping Ground from Fall Guys. Like, come on, he's stomping right there. Yeah. Now for the epic fantasy story sequel to the original Awesome Friendly Kid, Awesome Friendly Adventure. On page 50, where I mentioned about chapter 4, you can see some mushroom and other common funguses around this tree. Now, it might be a little bit of a stretch considering we don't know what color these mushrooms are, but this might be a reference to the toadstool cap and fungi cap uppers in Fall Guys, which, why dress up as a mushroom if you really want to. This could be a reference, yeah. Color-wise, I'm sure. Honestly, that's gotta be a reference to that. And now, finally, to end off this entire video, we're doing Riley Jefferson's Awesome Friendly Spooky Stories, which is the third in the Awesome Friendly trilogy. And page 96 in the story of the Cellar, where in this picture, you can see a bootleg Rowley and his family are being surrounded by chickens asserting their dominance. And these chickens right here, they obviously might be a reference to the chicken outfit in Fall Guys, where these chickens must be a reference to that. Trust me, again. This is really time, so trust me. I'm a very trustworthy guy, and all these references are totally real. And Fall Guys is very cool. And yeah, this is every single Welkin Kid book that I own, and I found a Fall Guys reference in. Yeah. This was a pretty funny video to make. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. It's kind of made this video just for fun. I don't think I've never really made a video like kind of like in this style. I'd say something like a video. I don't know. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, let me know if you can find any other Fall Guys references. Because while I was reading through this book, I definitely did find out a couple other Fall Guys references I could have used. But I think this is the ones I like the best. Or probably like the most fitting. Yeah, if you were able to find any other Fall Guys references in this books, well, let me know in the comments below. Maybe I might make a part 2, maybe when Welkin 19 releases, and maybe if I ever get my hands on the movie diaries, maybe make like a part, kind of like a mini part 2, maybe potentially. I don't know. I'll have to see. That's really how this video does and people want, and if I'm able to get my hands on the movie diaries. But yeah. That's what I'm saying. Make sure to like and subscribe, and you have to like and subscribe. Definitely, I'm all about the channel. I share some of my other content, and also make sure to follow my Twitter. Link in the description. That's all I have to say, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, and stay epic.